Israel is one of the few countries in the world that they can't lose a battle. If they lose a war, then there is no Israel.
לא לפחד להתאהב שישבר הלב, לא לפחד בדרך לאבד.
Hi, my name is Jonathan. I was born in Israel, in Jerusalem. I moved to America with my parents at the age of 4. I grew up in America, and after high school, since I didn't know what I wanted to study, I went into the Israeli army to gain a special life experience and also to get closer and have a better understanding of the country that I was born in and my past. In the infantry, we underwent training for an 8-month period. We slept about 4 to 5 hours a night during training. After training, it went down to 2 hours per night. But the hardest part of the training was walking long distances with a lot of weight on your back. You know, you would carry arms, maybe missiles, equipment, water. It's the usual thing that you would need during war. And the hardest exercise was the final exercise, which was a 70-kilometer walk with your equipment on. A few 10-minute breaks every few hours to refill your water from the water tank that's being carried by the Hummer in the back. And in the middle of the walk, we had a nice 30-minute break to eat a sandwich that we carried with us and drink more water. So just to talk about water, hydration is a very important part of the army. And before any strenuous exercise, before any strenuous training exercise that they would do, they would actually make us, each commander would make the soldiers stand in a circle kind of and chug, I would say, between 1 to 2 liters of water, depending on how strenuous the exercise would be, and also depending on how hot the day was. Israel it's a pretty hot country, and many times people, including me, would just throw up from being forced to chug so much water, and then after you throw up, you have to drink it again, or else you can't leave for the exercise. So they take safety and in terms of hydration and not getting dehydrated, they take that very seriously. During the 3 months that I was first stationed in Gaza, there were mortars flying over my head every day, multiple times a day, because the Hamas in Gaza...
What is Hamas?
The Hamas is the terrorist organization that governs, they are in power and in control of the government in Gaza. So they would shoot these kind of non-advanced mortars that were not precise at all. They were not able to hit their targets 90% of the time, but sometimes they did hit their targets. And the thing is, when you're fighting against terrorists, it's not like a police fighting against a criminal. When you're fighting a criminal, the criminal is scared to die. When you're fighting a terrorist, they have the suicide vest and they blow it up, and they will kill themselves just to kill you. Apparently, this is one of the strategies that the Hamas likes to use against the Israelis. They send retards over the border. They just tell them, okay, go this way, just keep walking, and they basically do this to study the Israeli army's reaction to the infiltration, so that they can study exactly what we do, where we go, how many people we send, so that the next time when they actually want to infiltrate the border with the real terrorists, they can do so undetected.
לחבק אותה בלילה, כשהיא נרדמת אז כל העולם נרגע. לנשום אותה עמוק, לדעת שתמיד אני אהיה שם בשבילה. מכל הרגעים בזמן למצוא אחד לאחוז בו, להגיד שהגענו.
So a kind of surreal thing that happened during my first station in Gaza, when they were shooting the missiles over us and they were landing also around us. My entire base, we actually brought all the beds and all the bunk beds and the mattresses into the concrete bomb shelter in the base. Every base needs a bomb shelter in Israel. Also, every settlement must have a bomb shelter for obvious reasons. So we were actually sleeping in the bomb. We were in the bomb shelter all day for 3 months during my entire station there. Probably even longer for the next people who came after us. And we only went out to get food from from the giant fridge on base, or to quickly shower in 5 minutes as fast as you can, and run back to the bomb shelter naked. And obviously we went out for missions that we had to do. The reason why we were there was to guard the border and do patrols along the fence to make sure that there are no holes in the fence, to make sure nobody has tried to infiltrate, and to make sure that there are no bombs that were planted underneath the fence for our Hummers to go over. One time, the captain was in the Hummer doing a patrol, and he noticed something strange. He wanted to go investigate. So he got out of the Hummer, and he was immediately shot by a sniper from Gaza. He was shot in the shoulder, and the force of the sniper was so strong that his entire arm actually blew off. So one time I got very lucky. I was posted on the Gaza-Israel border to just guard the border to make sure there are no terrorist infiltrations into the Israeli side. And nothing happened while I was there. But 3 months after, that was actually my last post in the army. Then I got out, and 3 months later, when the new younger generation was on the same post, terrorists from Gaza came up from beneath them from a tunnel that they had dug from Gaza into Israel. They came up right under their noses, and they murdered the 4 soldiers that were stationed there. And then shortly afterwards, Israel sent my battalion to to their deaths into battle, into the booby-trapped Gaza Strip, where 50 Israeli soldiers died. So I was very fortunate not to be a participant of that. As someone that has been in the IDF and has lived there, it is my opinion that the mainstream media, that is Google, Wikipedia, all big tech, they are grossly misrepresenting what is actually going on there. And I don't think people really understand what these terrorists are and what the things that they do. For example, the Hamas in Gaza, they put all their weapons and the bombs and missiles that they use to send into Israeli settlements and to kill Israeli civilians. So they stash them under elementary schools, under hospitals. So it's a very, to talk about morality, it becomes a little bit complicated. There's a thin line, And another thing that they love, not just Hamas, but radical Islamic terrorists in general, something that they love to do. They love to strap bombs, suicide vests to their children. And many times they're 6, 7 years old, or women, and they just tell their kids to go. This is an honor. This is an honor for your religion. You're gonna go. You're gonna die for your religion, for Allah. And they tell them to go. And when there's a 6-year-old that's running with a bomb strapped to him to a group of people that can he can kill 20 people, then it's a very thin line. I think you have to really redefine morals, and I think most people and the world, they don't really understand that situation. That they don't understand how low these terrorists can actually go. And sometimes you just have to fight fire with fire.
לנשום אותה עמוק, לדעת שתמיד אני אהיה שם בשבילה.